It's interesting. Because lucid dreaming has the desired outcome in the name itself, lucid dreaming, it is extra frustrating when you're doing all the work, you're doing your dream journal, your reality checks, and you're not achieving lucidity. If you've been there, whether it's a beginner or an experienced dreamer, you know how frustrating this is. And it can be so tempting when you're hitting a block with lucidity to just give up and walk away. But do not give up just yet. Here's a powerful adjustment that you can make that will sustainably support your practice. It's actually the first thing I get my clients to do, even though it took me 4 years to figure out for myself and reverse engineer why this matters so much. Every lucid dreaming book will tell you how having strong motivation is one of the, if not the most important part of a working lucid dream practice. What they don't tell you is how to access and set up that motivation in a lasting and effective way. Because here's the thing, most of us, when we start lucid dreaming, we're so excited. We're totally fired up. We go all in. But what can happen is that after a period of time of practicing, if we're not getting the exact outcomes and results we want, it can be easy to feel discouraged and just simply give up. And all the motivation just goes, wow. And it's not our fault. We're just instinctively sourcing motivation from the wrong place. The head. Don't get me wrong, the head has great intensity. When we're motivated from our head, we have firepower, willpower. We're able to focus and really apply ourselves to something for a short period of time and for a specific set of results. The problem with head motivation is it's very outcome dependent. And so when the head says, I want to learn how to lucid dream, if it doesn't start getting lucid very, very quickly, the head goes, it's not working. I'm not achieving my goals. What's the point? The thing is with the head motivation is that while we can use this really effectively in certain aspects of our lucid dreaming practice, ultimately, it's just not big enough or strong enough to hold a lifetime of really working in the dream space in a meaningful way. And this is because it's usually attached to some kind of sense of identity and really attached to a sense of winning and really quick to criticize if something's not working or not. And when it comes to lucidity, it works way better to have like a carrot motivation, something positive, than stick, where you're sort of whipping yourself into shape. Something I see with clients is they've come to me, they've been trying to work on their practice, they've had some success, but as they've tried harder, their practice seems to get worse. And this is because we can start treating ourselves like, slaves and putting ourselves in a situation where it's no longer fun. You're putting yourself into a rigid discipline, but in a kind of controlling mental manner. Whereas our minds, especially our unconscious minds, respond way more to excitement and to pleasure and to gratitude than they do to you should, you must. And so working with the head motivation can get us like a quick burst quickly, but lucid dreaming is a practice that we span over time. And so we're going to put the head motivation aside, and instead, I'm going to teach you how to work with heart motivation. Heart motivation is fueled by a deep caring for something that is extremely important in your life. In this way, it actually builds an intensity over time because it's connected to something that's super important to you over a whole lifespan. It's more patient, it's more powerful, it's more spacious, it's more forgiving, it's more excited. And it's interesting because this kind of heart motivation also tends to transcend the self and connect into your lifelong purpose and connection to other people. When you ground your purpose for lucid dreaming in this bigger, wider heart motivation, it's able to hold the periods of time where lucidity doesn't come, or where you're just beginning to train, or maybe you're going through an obstacle. Because if your motivation for lucid dreaming is something so much bigger and so much more important than just, I had a lucid dream, you're going to have a kind of more infinite patience, compassion, and excitement even during the tough times. As an example, my personal heart motivation for lucid dreaming is that I care deeply about my individuation and my integration as a person. I want to live a fully expressed and deeply meaningful life, and I recognize the role that lucid dreaming can play in that, in terms of psychic integration, spiritual development. And so for me, it's a lifelong adventure. So in that context, if for a few months I'm struggling with lucidity, I don't get so frustrated and throw in the towel. So take a second right now to ask yourself, what is it that you want to do in your lucid dreams? For some of you, that might be amazing experiences like flying and traveling to other worlds, dimensions even. For some of you, it's going to be your serious spiritual practice. For others, psychological integration. But ask yourself, what do you want to do in your lucid dreams? And then make sure you ask this question. Why do you want to do those things? For some, it might be about creativity. I know that there are some amazing artists, poets who use lucid dreaming to access the creative realms. If you're an artist and want to be an artist forever, that's an amazing motivation. If you're someone like me who wants to be in, spiritual and psychological practice, think about exactly why. What is the end goal at the end of your life? How do you want to feel? And how can lucid dreaming connect to that purpose and that motivation? So what is it that you want to do, and why do you want to do that? With my clients, I have them actually write out a special kind of 3 structured dream mission statement. Maybe I can teach that in another video. But even if you just explore those 2 questions and kind of write them out, and you reconnect to that purpose every day, it's going to create the correct foundation that all of your other technique practices will sit within. And again, even when you're going through tough times, if you are connected to a powerful, true, and enduring heart motivation, you will not be deterred. If you're looking for a little inspiration on what's possible in lucid dreams, make sure you watch my video on the 3 life-changing spiritual insights that lucid dreaming offers.